All right, so it's 6 o'clock, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll call the meeting to order. It is Monday, November 17th, here at the John Hogan Meeting Room. Salut, John. So we have public comment to start. So Karen, you want to go ahead and talk about the voting or the town meeting?
Yeah, so,
Why don't you pull a chair
I'm
up?
gonna move up because it's
Yeah,
gonna
come
be
sit
dark
in.
back.
Sit in Don's chair.
Oh, okay,
right there.
thank you. So we've had this group that's been meeting about town meeting. John Schmelzer, Steve McGill, who's our moderator, Donnie, Chris Butch is a recent addition,
nice,
and
yeah.
myself. Yeah, really nice. So Chris looked into what Duxbury's done with their Have Your Say Day. And they have a pre-town meeting 2 weeks ahead of the actual town meeting. But then they also have Have Your Say Day earlier, and this coming year, it's scheduled for January 10th. Last year, the town clerk told them they had like 200 attendees at the Have Your Say Day. They sent out postcard notices to everybody, and they did up lots of pie. So pie is definitely a thing. And they had their moderator, manage the meeting. Then I talked to, or I texted with the manager in Waterbury. They also had 2 meetings Saturday morning. They only with pie. They had about 30 people. They had one on Monday evening, I think the following Monday evening, and they only had about 10 people. He said he wasn't sure how effective it was because there was no tax increase in Waterbury last year on the municipal side, and they just had a new local option tax that's paying for a lot of road repairs. So nevertheless, they had about 2 hours of discussion on the budget.
Oh, wow.
So he is thinking that maybe this year they're going to just have one meeting and they'll call it a budget meeting. Budget discussion. Nobody wanted to talk about anything else apparently. Anyway, so we're suggesting that maybe we could do a Have Your Say Day on January 6th at your select board meeting. And you could call it Have Your Say, you could call it budget, prelude, whatever you wanted to.
And so the idea of that is to present the budget at that point, let people give input, and at that point we have the option, we can still change it at that point.
Yeah, you have a little leeway, so you could change something if you wanted to. The other thing the town meeting group was suggesting, and I don't know if Steve McGill sent you a note about this, but the budget, the number limit for discussing items from the floor is $5,000, which was set a very long time ago.
Right.
And we're suggesting that you might increase that to like 15,000 that you could discuss from the floor. Again, to get more people involved, attending the meeting. So these are all just suggestions, of course, but if you had your Have Your Say meeting on the 6th, I don't know what you'd do about pie if it was a select board meeting, but we could deal with that. And then maybe the pre-town meeting a couple weeks ahead of town meeting, so like the 17th of February potentially, and then town meeting on the 3rd, and we would have we're also working on getting Neck of the Woods back and having the potluck dinner and things that seem to attract people last year, and we're going to get a decent speaker system because that speaker system seems okay if you're in the room when it's empty, but then when it fills up, all the sound's absorbed.
Yeah.
I decided that was what the problem was. Anyway, so that's like the really super high level what we've been talking about. A couple of questions, if you wanted to go that direction, is like how would you make the budget available to folks for that one January 6th meeting, and would we send out notices, more than Front Porch Forum, like try to get people
Right.
there? So those are things to talk about. But, anyway, that's that update.
Yeah. Well, I certainly like building off what you guys did last year, or what we did last year with your recommendations, because that was one of the better turnouts that we've had in a long time. A lot of energy there, and a lot of younger people there.
Yeah, that was really nice. It was.
So I think probably something in January at our first meeting is, I don't think it's a bad idea. And we should have, we're pretty good on the budget, Sasha, aren't we? We have most of it done at this point.
Most of it is done, yeah.
And certainly by then we can have
We
probably
could
most.
have like bare bones.
Right,
you know,
exactly,
This
yeah.
is what we're discussing.
And in fact, that's a good point to, or a good time to be discussing that in case, here's where
Yeah.
we are. The reason we have not finished this, we're not sure what to do here. What's your thoughts? And we actually have some big ticket items that we need to discuss, and some timeframes of when we want to do these things. So, that will probably be a pretty good
Yeah,
time to do that. What's your thoughts, Kelly?
Yeah. Well, I think town meeting is really starting to become a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So as much as we can do to bring it back.
or to keep people, I
Keep
think
it-
there's a lot of folks who've moved to town or actually moved to Vermont who don't have any idea what town meeting's
Exactly.
about and what their voice means.
Mhm.
So, yeah. I don't know if you watched the Revolution thing last night, Ken
I
Burns.
fell asleep, but
So anyway, and there was one point in there that King George decreed that you could only have one town meeting a year. Did you catch that?
I didn't know.
So anyway, maybe that's where town meeting came from. I'm not a
That is,
historian.
yeah, I had his recording
It
it.
was pretty interesting. So that's town meeting, our town meeting group thus far. And we're gonna get together again. Somebody said the 26th. I'm not sure when Donnie gets back.
Yeah, I think he's fairly soon, because I thought he was gonna be here tonight, so I think it's soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just assume it'd be this week or something
Yeah.
because
Yeah, so, and then our first meeting in December, we can make some decisions on this. But, we'll take that, Don will be back, so he'll have some more information or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they're pretty easy lists that we can do, we can take care of. And
Right.
I think, again, just figuring out how to get the word out, right after the holidays like that, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, because people don't have anything else to do
Right, it's quiet.
between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I can write this up for you all too, just for a couple of bullet points. and
Yeah,
send
if
it
you want
to
to send it to Sasha, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Glad you're well. Thank you for sharing that with us. And if you want to stay right there, we're going to move on to the town plan with Miss Carol Chamberlain. Come on down.
First snow snafu, which on my road, if you're sliding backwards, you're gonna hit the power pole with everybody's fiber connection in it, so I very slowly eased back.
Wait, they have fiber?
Yeah.
yeah, me.
Never
yeah.
miss an opportunity.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, you know what it was? I got to the top and somebody was coming down the north facing road, so I had to stop, and then there was no way I could get going
Jeez,
again.
by talking about it.
I know. And then Dean said, well, are you really going to turn around and try it again? And I said, yeah. And he said, what if you have to stop again? And I said, I won't have to. And I come to the top and there was somebody coming down again. I just shot out in front of him and said, we're good.
Sorry. Carol.
I made it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got here in one piece. So you had your town plan. What were you sharing on that?
Karen can share, I can share. The Planning Commission moved to pass it along to the Select Board for their review, public hearing, and adoption.
All right.
So, Sasha and I have looked at the logistics, and based on the date that the Planning Commission met, you can have your public hearing at your second December meeting, which I believe is the 15th.
All right.
if you all peruse the plan and see any changes you want to make, you can make some minor changes up until the 1st, but then you can't touch it again until after the 15th. We're hoping that you're not planning on
Right.
making any changes. But
There is a summary on the, it's not a short summary, it's 6 pages itself, but
That'd be good.
of just sort of bullet points of what's in the various chapters. We only had 2 people at our public hearing, Dara and Deb Feldman,
Oh, jeez.
both supportive. But, so we're not really expecting that you'll get a huge audience at that meeting, but you might.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to put it out there. Well, good. Well,
Yeah.
it's been, you've put a lot of time in. I know, Carol, you've been working on it pretty hard this summer as well as the rest of the planning commission.
everybody's been working on it. Yeah.
We started in 2024,
I was gonna
more
say.
than a year ago. Yeah, and almost 2 years ago. So, and we've been trying to get it done so that we can apply for grants again without having to worry about you don't have an approved plan.
Good. Well, we'll certainly try to make it. So after we have the town hearing, what goes next? And then we,
If you adopt it,
right,
then it just goes to the CVRPC for their approval process.
Okay.
And they've already reviewed it, so I don't see them coming up with anything drastic that would need to be changed.
And that can be done on the 15th at the hearing.
Yeah, if the language is funny. It says at a meeting after the public hearing, so if you do the warning in the agenda so that there's the public hearing and then that's closed and then the regular meeting opens, yes, it could happen on the same day.
all right, yeah, so we'll just do that. We'll have it at 6:05 or 5:55 or something. We can start that and then, yeah. Good.
So one other thing,
Yes.
Clark tendered his resignation from the planning commission. We're very sorry to see him go. He's
Yeah.
great, but I think he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, he sent me an email.
Yeah, and we were hoping that you would appoint Bob Blodgett to fill that seat. He's been at every meeting since he's been an alternate on the planning commission. And he's a very good researcher, also very good grammarian, we found out.
Yeah, very thorough person, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he'd probably be great.
Right,
So-
he's been an alternate
Yeah.
doing the job, so, yeah, I'd move to appoint Bob Blodgett to the full-time planning commission position.
We can't.
You have to warn it.
Oh,
It has to be warned first.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, we'll warn that, but
Okay.
that's our
Yeah.
intention.
So we can do it on the 1st.
I think Clark has he said he'd come through December, so, but
Okay.
they've both been coming anyways, so, thank you.
Good, yeah. Well, thank you, ladies, and the rest of the team there for all you're doing and what you did.
And I'll look through the town plan, but is like the new Tier 3 Act 250 stuff addressed in the town plan, or do either of you know like how it will impact Moretown? Because I've been getting emails about it from forestry organizations, but ignoring them, and then a friend of mine in town, and I looked at a map and saw some of my land would be impacted, but do either of you know anything about that and how?
So
It's gonna impact-
it's a draft right now,
Mhm.
because I spent actually most of the morning trying to figure this one out. Because when you look at on the Act 250 website at the map for Moretown, a big, huge chunk of it is Tier 3,
That's
which
what my
is
friend was saying, yeah.
yeah. It's the regional commission didn't have their future land map together the whole time we were doing the plan, and we think they might have just posted it last week.
They might have posted a draft.
Also draft.
So everything's up there available for anybody to comment on,
Mhm.
both the tier stuff and.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. I just haven't made the time to,
But I
look,
think
but-
because a big chunk of House Road, actually most of House Road is in Tier 3. And there's a lot of houses on House Road, and also it's a place that we've sort of been thinking would be suitable for additional development, because there's development there already. I mean, home residential development. I think that we need to have a unified voice as much as we can in terms of talking to both the Land Use Review Board, the state level one, and the Regional Commission. And I think we can't be wimpy about it.
So what, can you share a little bit more? I've been following this as close as you guys have, as far as what is category 3?
I think, well, I think you two probably know more than I do, but I think it like, if an area that's in category 3, like has to go through an Act 250 review before you like build a house. So I think like Karen said, like a lot of Howes Road, and then my friend said most of the Mountain Road. I know part of my land's impacted. Yeah, so like you would not only just need a zoning permit, but you would have to go through some sort of Act 250 review.
Have they come up with even draft rules for what Act Tier 3 means?
They have draft rules. I can send it to you guys, only 5 pages actually, which is pretty.
And is it going to require Act 250 for a single-family residence?
They're going to, the way I was reading it, they're going to look at even a single-family residence in those areas. And they're going to look at, like, is it near a habitat connector? Is it more than 50 feet from a town road? A bunch of different criteria.
The whole thing with looking at Act 250 was to streamline the process, not make it worse than what it already is.
So the,
I think, oh
yes,
yeah.
yes. So Tier 1 is like downtown centers, so like the Burlington, South Burlingtons, those kinds of places.
Mhm.
They're not going to have to go through Act 250 at all anymore. And then Tier 2, my understanding was going to be most of the state and pretty much left as it was in terms of regulatory review. And then Tier 3 would be the really sort of ecologically sensitive lands. And anyway, that's kind of the way it was sold at the legislature. But I think when it's showing up on maps, of course, that is where people are going to start looking. But it looks a lot more expansive in the Tier 3, the ecologically sensitive areas, than at least I thought was going to be the case.
I mean, yeah, this is from Matt Williams. He said, yeah, depending on how it's drafted, he's on Howes Road, all of our land would be an automatic Act 250 permit, with a few exceptions for the current structures.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably like, right, there's nowhere to build in Moretown Village. Really, right? And especially like the whole thing with the wastewater. And so like, in reality, for Moretown to expand, it'd be like on the Lower Mountain Road, Howes Road, etc.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, maybe, I don't know.
I think it was interesting because Dara was, we were talking about it the other night, and her land's also in Tier 3. Well, they're behind Howes Road, they're one road up. And I don't think that was sort of what she had expected either, so.
So what is the best way for us to address? Obviously, it seems like one, we need to probably each take a look at it, but, and then what's...
So, oh no,
go ahead.
I'm going to get on a roll and I apologize.
Yeah, no, this is good.
I think that it would be a good idea to ask the Planning Commission to take an initial look at it, and then, the word is definitely getting out, and maybe we have a meeting dedicated to what are the proposals for land in Moretown. There's also a bill that's being introduced this year that would require public notice to every landowner whose property is going to be affected, which would probably be, 75% of the state landowners. But that might be a place to start. I think we have to do it fairly soon on what the timeline is on the draft rules. But they sure didn't advertise them very well.
So there are the draft rules, there's the draft map, and then there's also the draft CVRPC regional land use map.
Yeah.
And they all need comments provided fairly quickly.
Yeah.
like by the end of December or end of January.
So why don't we,
Time.
I mean, as a board here, I mean, I think we don't have to push this down the road, we can decide tonight. And we've got the planning commission here, I mean, Dave's not here, but we've got these, Karen, to let Dave know this is what we want to do. And we would like you to, take a look at those, you know, and come back
Yeah.
as soon as possible with a recommendation as a town, what you think we should be doing. And if, you know, carte blanche, do whatever you think. If you want to, you know, have a public meeting, you know, an emergency public meeting, if there's gonna be, you know, if timelines are this critical and it's gonna impact people the way it possibly can, whether it's, you know, the holidays or not, I think people will show up to
Yeah.
let us know what's going on. And then we can hopefully get some state people here to listen to this.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing, you're so right, Tom, it was all billed as to encourage housing.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I mean, and that's what we worked on our town plan earlier to change, you know, our setbacks. We did all sorts of things to kind of start to facilitate that process. And then, you know, to all for naught because, you know, then this big brother comes in and says, no, we have to do this. So, you know, I'm not down on that. So we need to figure out how this.
Yeah, and it's not just us, of course.
Yeah,
If you
no,
look
it's
at that map, most of Middlesex is tier 3, and yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that's
it's the rural communities.
putting a Scroogey to us again.
I mean, and if it's like really simple, like, oh, okay, if they just do like a wetlands review or something.
Which you would have anyway.
Well, I think depending on the town,
Uh-huh.
right? Some towns, like some towns, you don't have to do that, you know.
Well, wetlands is a state
It's a state.
regulation.
I know, but like to build a house, like a setback from a wetland, you know, like a town without a zoning. But what I mean is
Oh,
like,
yeah.
if like the Act 250 thing is just a simple thing, like, oh, wetlands review and whatever, then that's like, but like if it's like, I just mean looking at a map, like just,
Yeah,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Like the
right.
advisory layer. But
Yeah,
if it's like beyond that, then it seems like,
yeah.
like
Well,
Tom's saying, like very
Yeah,
restrictive.
I mean, once you're into Act 250, there's no
There's
telling,
nothing simple
right?
about it.
It's, yeah,
And the price
there's no
all.
predicting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of the reason they're trying to redo it is because it was like very subjective and not objective. Like I had heard from people who dealt with it that like depending on what district you were in, you would get
Oh,
different
yeah.
answers,
Yeah.
like in the state. And so I think they were trying to make it more objective. I don't know. I haven't really followed the process, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's
All
huge.
right.
I mean, that's impacts everyone's land values tremendously. I mean,
that's
everything.
one of the other things in that bill, that if your ability to, you know, use your land is affected, that it has to be reflected in the grand list.
Oh, so we can do another reappraisal too on this whole thing.
Yeah, and lower all the land values in town.
But we're going backwards, all right.
Yeah,
All right, good news.
yeah.
Well, I'm really pleased that you brought this to our attention. Thank you. And Mike, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, well, I'm glad they know more than I do. I've just been ignoring the emails, but.
So yeah, all right, so, yeah, consider it as formal as you want, but we were saying, do what you need to do, Karen.
Okay, we'll try and get on it
Yeah,
pretty,
we'll get
I'm like, now that the town plan's off our plate, sort of, then we'll have a good time, yeah.
And, you know, I'll send, actually, I could send that Clarkie an email, but, you know, thank Clark again from us.
Yeah.
Just within your board, but we'll do that. Yeah, Clark has been a good town servant, you know, he's always in this, doing something. He did a lot with the septic stuff here in
Oh,
town.
he did, yeah,
He really,
that was a huge amount of work.
Right.
for him. Yeah, yeah.
So, well, good. Well,
All
thank
right.
you, ladies.
Thank you.
The only other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is that buyout offers are coming in and people are starting to accept them, and so we will be moving into the whole closing process for some of these properties. I don't know how quickly they hold, the program hopes that closings happen within 6 months, but they're flexible, so it could be 2 months, it could be 6 months, it could be longer than that, but
Okay.
we'll need to figure out all those logistics for sure. And
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts there because
Yeah.
there's a lot of money going from these hands to,
Right.
different hands, and then to make sure that the properties are being,
make sure that, and then the town takes the title to all the properties, and then the whole demolition process
Right.
happens, so.
and then I know Karen had been working on some stuff on that end of the town, with those properties with,
The parks or?
yeah,
Park
parks or,
Service.
That was actually something Bob Blodgett secured for us, their visit. We haven't heard anything, have we, Carol, from them?
No, and they kind of indicated that they were here just kind of on a reconnaissance and that they really wouldn't be able to go any further until the properties became town properties. So,
And plus it's the federal
and
government.
plus they're all federal employees, yes.
yeah. So that's slowed things down a little bit.
A little bit.
Very, yeah, I'm sorry. Sherilyn?
I just wanted to mention too that I'd sent you an email because there's one of the properties that is 2 years in delinquencies. And the state has said that they would not be issued those funds, that the town would be reimbursed the funds and it would be deducted from the buyout price that they're being paid out.
Okay.
Yeah, it would just be like a typical closing. If
Okay,
you
yes.
owe
You
the
taxes,
town
whatever it
money,
is.
the
Yeah.
town's gonna get the money before the closing.
Yep.
Right,
It's kind of like money's in escrow and it's handed
Right.
out that way.
right.
Very good.
Okay.
All right.
And
Thank
hopefully
you.
they're done before April 1st.
Some of them might be.
All for our,
Because if they're not done by then they're on your tax rolls for next year.
perfect.
Right. Let's not go down there.
Cal, you know, sometimes it's good to have you as a clerk in the next place. Sometimes I just, too much information. But you keep us out of trouble, so that's what we want.
Yeah, we've just had a few that we've had to go through and abate because, they will only pay up to what's due. So
Yeah. Yeah.
then you have to turn
Thanks,
around and
Karen.
abate the
Thanks,
rest of
Carol.
it.
Thank you, ladies. Karen, be safe driving home with your snow tires, either summer tires, each one. Oh, all right, Sherilyn, thank you for taking the time tonight. I know you're very busy, but we are here for you, so we'll try to get through this as quick as possible.
Okay.
And so let us know where you are at, and we will go to that. And I'll start Rich.
Well,
Go ahead.
we can start at page 1, on page 1 to the town office. I have everything in there other than equipment maintenance, and that's because I'm waiting to hear back from Nemrick because there's normally a 3% increase in their costs every year.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing, but other than that, if you notice on equipment purchases, I dropped that down drastically because we're purchasing the server this year and we will not have to next year.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I think that, unless anyone has questions on that, I mean, we've either gone down, we had one small increase at 10% on the copier lease, so I think we're pretty good on that town office.
Yeah, and that's only because our lease is up in June or July, one of the two. So my guess is that the prices are gonna be going up a little bit, so I just added a little bit extra in there.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Town hall, there's nothing in there, so I don't know if you want me to just level fund it just as everything was in the previous year, because obviously we're still gonna have electricity, we're gonna have fuel, supplies and expenses, custodial wages averages about 2 hours a week, if that. And I don't even think that they have anyone to cover that yet. So would you want me to just level fund that out, or?
That's probably the way to go.
Okay,
The only thing there might be to ask Donnie what's in the building maintenance plan.
yep. The library, you've already done. Town meetings and elections down at the very bottom. You'll notice that that's gone up, and that's because we have the general elections next year. There's 3 versus 1.
Yep.
Drop them down as far as election official pays drastically, because most of the justices of the peace that we have now, they just donate their time.
It's very nice of them.
They can't do
Yep.
that.
Page 2, on town reports. That did not go up very much at all, but our contract is up this year, so we're gonna have to sign a new contract with them to move forward, which obviously in the last 3 years, inflation has gone up.
Yep, so that's a small increase, but, yeah.
Yep, the one thing that I would like to recommend with that though, I know we've done it in the past, is that town meeting, bring it up to the voters as far as whether or not we want to mail out all of our town reports, or leave it as a pickup, because a lot of people don't like paper and they just want to look at it online. So it's just a thought.
Yeah, I don't know, we go back and forth on that often, and I don't think I want to make sure we have some printed. You know, I think that's, hard copy's nice to have.
Oh, yeah.
Almost to Callie's point, earlier about town meeting going away, we don't want the town report to go away, so. But yeah, I think
Right.
it's something to check into, maybe we can do fewer of them and save a little money.
Yeah. General town expenses, I've heard back from pretty much everyone except for Washington County Tax, where you can see it has a 0 in there.
Yep.
And then the liability on workman's comp, I'm waiting to hear back on them as well. You'll notice the recreational fund expenses is way up, and that's only because we have, or the recreation committee, and I believe the select board's been involved, they've rolled Morefest over into their budget.
Yep.
So that will no longer be a line item in other articles and expenses. And then there are other zeros in there as well, website expense. I lowered that down to 1,400 because Darla, we know, we have her on standby if we need something, and she still does help out, but I don't feel like it's necessary to have $5,500 in there as we have in the past. Now that we have Carol working on the website.
Yep.
And then also under website expenses, that's where we had JB being paid out to work on the website, but Carol's now doing that as part of the ZA duties. I did put the HRA in there, which is something that we need to discuss. I brought it up at the last meeting, and it sounded like the board was willing to go with the same plan that we have now. So the HRA expense would be 22,400 rather than 2,100, and that's a difference of 2.9 because all of the expenses haven't come in yet. So I really need to get that back to MVP in order to keep the employees' insurance ongoing. So if at some point through the meeting tonight, if a motion could be made for me to go ahead and sign off and get the MVP paperwork back to MVP as soon as possible, that'd be great.
Sasha, can you remind us of old business on that, please?
And again, I don't know if you guys want to write it down, but last year and versus this year, again, it's only going up 2.9%, whereas the previous year, it went up 16%.
No, that's the same.
Parking lot, EP grant, I have those in at 0 because those are closed out. I did put the stormwater in there because it's supposed to be done on the maintenance for $1,500 every year. The grant expenses, the MERP is closed out. And the multi-use path, that was just a one-time deal, so there's nothing in there either. So you can see at the bottom there where it has gone down quite a bit, but just keep in mind that that's also because I'm still missing 2 Washington County tax and the workers' comp.
Right, which are significant.
But I do believe that it's going to go down drastically.
All right, well, we'll just do that.
Memberships, still waiting to hear back from Waterbury Ambulance, as well as CVDC dues. But other than that, I do not believe that they're gonna be going up. Mad River Resource Management Alliance, on page 3, they're staying the same this year. Page 3 still, tax collector, I level funded for FICA Medi. Constables, we don't pay. Health officers, Dick Valentinetti, I don't believe has put in for an increase, so I level funded that as well. Animal control officer, I'm not sure what you want to do with that, so if you guys want to discuss it and maybe give me some figures or have me level fund it, that's up to you. So that I can get those figures put in there.
At this point, I don't think there's any need to change, but I don't know if there's something we want to, at some point,
Okay,
take a look at.
okay.
Did you get,
I'll plan on level funding that.
I was just gonna,
Auditors, that the major increase is due to the fact that we have a full audit due to FEMA. And that's gonna happen probably for the next 2-3 years anyway.
we were expecting that this year too. Did we, were we expecting that this year and we kind of escaped that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did we expect a full audit this year? We were able to not have it or something?
For 2024's, yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. So we ended up putting all the money in there, but didn't end up having to use it.
All right.
For auditing the 2024 records, but in the 2025 year.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Listers, level funded that as well. Nothing for BCA. Can move on to page 4. Zoning administrator, basically that's gonna end up being level funded as well. I'm just waiting on the pay, for you guys to decide what pay increases, if there's gonna be pay increases. Planning commission, they put in their own budget. Development review put in their own budget. Cemeteries, they put in their own budget. So basically for any town employee, like zoning, town clerk, town treasurer, road department, I have not done anything with those budgets because my numbers make a difference on what's gonna happen with pay increases. Page 5 for the select board, same thing, pay increases. So I'm just waiting on all that, so once I get that, I can then work on those figures for you.
All right, and we can plan on, I'd like to have Dawn here full board, so on December, our first meeting, we can decide on pay increase. Would that be early enough for you?
Yeah, that'd be fine. That'd be great, actually.
All right, well, we'll get that.
So when you guys are looking at your general town expenses, again on page 2, I just want to back up a little bit. Terrence, Gillis, and Shems, their prices are increasing, so I just want you guys to be aware that you may want to possibly, if there's going to be any legal expenses, you may want to consider upping that a little bit.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and the building maintenance, Michael had already brought it up. That was just on January 20th of 25. You guys, and I know you've been working on it a lot too since then, Dawn has, about the maintenance that needs to be done in all the buildings. So if those numbers need to change, just let me know and I can put those in. And then the sheriff, back on page 2 again for the sheriffs. If you look in the middle of the page for law enforcement where it was 20,000, I did put it down to 15,000 because you can see that we've only spent already this year 11,688. But if you want me to put it back up, I can.
Did you look at the email from Brett?
Yep, that they're raising the rates to 3%. So instead of $66 per hour, it's gonna be $68 per hour.
In the last 2 years, I mean, this year we haven't, but 2 years we haven't,
We haven't touched
we
it.
haven't
no.
got close to the budget. So I think that's probably a good spot to be, Sherilyn.
I'm sorry, you were cutting out, leave it at 15,000?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we were saying,
Okay.
I think we were talking about the last meeting, they don't have any more time, right?
Right.
So like, there's no way they'll hit, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's I don't know if it's gonna get approved, but I did apply for the salt shed grant again. So something to think about, if we do end up getting the salt shed approved this year, do we wanna put the $16,210 into the budget to cover our share, or do we wanna hold off on that and discuss it in 2026, how we'd wanna pay for that if it is approved?
How, is that a 2 or 3 year grant?
I'm sorry?
Is that a 2 or 3 year grant? How long does the grant go? Because even if we got it this year, I don't see us building a new salt shed next year.
Most of them are 2 years. I don't have that in front of me right now where I'm at, but I do believe it's 2 years.
All right, I guess maybe we should talk with Martin and see what, or if it's even possible to do that. If it's, I don't know. But if,
And then I believe, I don't know, Sasha, are you planning on bringing up the proposal for the text MyGov?
Oh, that'll be later.
Okay, so that's just one other thing that when Sasha discusses it with you, that we would need to put into the budget as well, if you guys decide that you want to do it. But other than that, I think that's it until we get the budget done, and then we can start discussing articles.
all right, well, I think we are pretty good. Sasha, is there anyone else? We've had Stefan, we've had Martin, we've had about everyone in that we need to have in for budget stuff. So we're just basically missing pay increase. Is that it?
A couple
Building
things
maintenance.
that we're waiting for, like Washington County.
All right, right.
Waterbury ambulance.
All right, but there's really nothing on this board here that we have to act on as
No.
far as we're waiting to get stuff rather than us doing something.
Yeah, I think the budget's looking pretty good, so, I mean, if you guys approve of what I've got in here so far, it's basically the pay increases so that I can finish the rest of the line items.
All right, so if we can do that first week in December, and if we do that, do you think it's possible in our first meeting in January, I don't know if you were listening online, to have this say, or have your say, so we can present kind of the budget. It doesn't have to be the final form, but a fairly good draft form that first week.
Yeah. Yeah, that, I appreciate you guys doing this as soon as you are, because it makes it much easier and it's not bowling and jamming to get it done, so.
All right. That was Sasha pushing us a little bit, which is good, that's what we need. All right, so we will do that, we've kind of got our things that we need to do. And so our first week in December, we'll try to, we'll get the pay, get our articles together, and try to get those squared up so we know what we're looking at. I know we've got a couple things from the town garage, and I know Stefan, it sounded like there was something there, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't, but, yeah, so I think we can get things rolling out pretty quickly.
Okay, and then second week in January, would it be possible, it would be nice the first meeting in January to also discuss the articles, so if there needs to be more discussion on them,
Oh, yeah.
because we're on a time.
No, actually, I think that's gonna coincide well with this meeting, this, have your say, because, no, I think that'll be very good, actually, to have that, and we'll do that at that first meeting. We'll have some input, and then we can make a decision.
Okay. Perfect.
But, the first 1st of December, we'll try to get them all lined up so we know what we're facing.
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was mumbling. I said, yeah, our first week in December, we will get our articles lined up so we know what we're looking at for January, that first week in January.
Okay, perfect.
Good. Anyone around the table have questions for Charlene?
No, I don't have any questions.
Or not around the table, Robin, you're all good. Robin, how are you tonight, Robin, by the way?
Good, I'm all good.
Good.
Yeah, it was my wife that was in. No, we're all good. No, I got everything down that Sherilyn said, and I have notes on all of it, so, no comment on my end.
All right. Mike or?
Thank you, Sherilyn.
I think I'm good.
Good. All right, Cheryl, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking the time tonight. Again, I know you're very busy, got a lot of stuff going on. Feel free to give me a call anytime, but otherwise, just take your time, what you need. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So, Sasha, let's go ahead and move to you with any reports or communications.
Sorry, motion for MVP?
All right, I will move to have Cheryl go ahead and complete the documents for the town health insurance with MVP for the 26 calendar year.
For second that.
Michael, second that. Any discussion on it? Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, Sasha.
You were starting to say something about the ACO thing.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask you, did you get all Stefan's chits and all that stuff? All right, yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe next meeting we can get a packet together so we can just take a look at it so people know, because that ACO pay has kind of skyrocketed or kind of gone up there, and I'm not sure how many incidents we're having and such like that, and whether we used to, so Mike, just so you and Callie, I don't know, you've been on for quite a while, so maybe, it was $500 6 years ago probably, and then we had just a spate of time where there was just problems all the time. Yeah, and basically just a pair of dogs really. And so it drove one ACO guy to leave because he couldn't handle it anymore. And then Stefan took it on, and it just got kind of crazier. And then to do it, this is what it is costing us. But it might be we could find a better solution than that. I mean, I think he does a good job, but just $2,500 seems like might be on the high side for that. But let's take a look at it.
Okay.
All right, Sasha, here.
Back to the town plan, I'm gonna post for December 1st for the 15th meeting, just so you guys are aware.
Okay.
Because it has to be on the board and warned for 15 days.
Yep.
So that'll be done. I think that's all. Oh. The Waterbury ambulance guy, he would like to talk to somebody before he actually comes in. He did come in and speak to me, and it is kind of a controversial subject. I'd like to get feedback before a meeting in a public forum.
So I talked to him.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's, so, did he get back in touch with you?
He came in last week.
All right, so everyone knows the Waterbury ambulance, his name is, what was it?
Zach.
Zach had been, in the last month, we've been missing each other, calls back and forth. And so we finally touched base, and why he wanted a private conversation is he wants to come in and propose some new territory for the Waterbury ambulance. Since they've built a new facility that's on this side of town rather than where it used to be. So he was just talking about response times and such. And I told him, I said, we're very happy with Mad River Valley. They're doing a great job, but on the same respect, we need to look out for the health of our people, and response times really make a difference. So I told him he could come into the second meeting of January,
Second meeting in January.
right, to give us a presentation on, you know, what they could do for us on that side of town and maybe take a little bit more territory. And he was concerned, you know, stepping on toes, I mean, all this EMT stuff, and rightfully so, and I appreciate that, and that's why, you know, we're very pleased with Mad River Valley, and they do a great job, but I think it's in our best interest to always listen and see what's out there. So.
Okay.
I reached out to Laura Stone, and she responded, she said that somebody should be getting back to the town on the bridge project next year.
Okay, yep.
This Text.my.gov, I just wanted to touch base on it. It's a lot of money, it's a pretty cool program, and I did get back to him and tell him that the money's probably gonna be an issue because of FEMA and all the stuff that the town's been going through, but I just wanted to let you guys know about.
Could you send information to everyone on that so we can take
Yeah.
a look at it and see what?
Yep.
Do you know anything about it from your?
No. And we have something kind of like that with the system that we use for our credit cards. And they have like a 311 where you can report stuff, and
No, no. So is that
if
what?
they do, it's, you know, it's very few and far between, so, and
All right, so let's take a look at it and see what it is. And
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you and Cheryl Lynn think about it?
I think it's kind of cool, but it's
so what does it
a
do?
lot of
What,
money.
give,
It's just a,
give us like a 2-minute version.
it's like a widget that's on your website, and you can sign up there for notifications for like when select board meetings are, or we just do like a blanket text to remind people that this is the night for a select board meeting. You could do a reminder for like dog licenses or taxes are coming due, just to the people that have actually signed
So
up
we have to
for
sign
it.
up for it.
But it goes by population, you gotta sign a 3-year contract. The first year is $4,500. The second year's $3,000, and then the next year's $3,000, and then you can do a year-to-year contract after that. It's a lot of money for something you don't know how many people are really gonna use it.
Right.
Right,
I
'cause-
think Front Porch Forum gets more people.
right, because it's not like the town like really puts out like emergency alerts
That
and
was the other
stuff.
thing.
Or would that be the only thing, like, right, like,
Right.
Yeah.
but like, if, yeah,
That's the only other.
It's almost cheaper to do a mailing at that point. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, Front Porch Forum works so well.
Yeah.
I would almost, and I know we've
Yeah.
in the past given a donation to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we should, you know, consider maybe putting something in here for $500 or $1,000 for
Something.
a donation, because everyone in town uses it, and as a town, we use that service quite often to get our word out. So I think that's one of our most, probably our best resource to connecting with people, it seems.
And the only other thing I had was the post hole reader. I want me to go ahead and, I sent it to everybody.
Yeah, you know, I did not look at it all, so I'll push that down until next, let's take a look at what that, and see where it fits in. Thank you so much. Callie, how about you? Do you have anything new, fresh going on over there? Mike?
the only thing I wrote down was, the water fountain. 'Cause I feel like we brought it up last meeting, but the meeting was going, or whatever meeting went really long, so, I don't know. I can't remember if we'd gotten a price on that, or,
We did get a price on it, and it's just not something that we use in the office.
yeah.
We get our water delivered.
But like, what's the cost of the water delivery versus fixing that thing?
I was supposed to do that. I'll pull that
Okay.
Yeah, if you could do that for Monday, or not Monday, for
for the next meeting.
next meeting. Yeah, because I mean, it's probably a good idea.
Okay.
And we've got it sitting there, and then people can refill their water bottles and not use Donnie handed us out water bottles, you know, and
Right.
you know.
Got enough of those.
What about you, Robin? You got anything for us tonight?
No. Pretty light over here. I've been spent most of the weekend in the woods, so.
Did you shoot anything?
Yeah, I missed. Embarrassing. I missed it because it was too close. I couldn't scope it in. Big brown dot.
Yeah, well, still quite a few days left, so you have some time.
Oh yeah, I know. We're seeing them every day too, so.
All right. Well, I don't think there's anything here. The only thing I was going to talk about is I did chat with the guy from Waterbury Ambulance. Other than that, I think, everything's good. Let's go ahead and look at the select board minutes for November 3rd. 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the select board meeting minutes from Monday, November 3rd, 2025.
Thank you.
Second?
Thanks, Robin.
You heard me?
Yes, we did, yep. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right.
Oh, sorry, I have one new business thing. I emailed Chris Stevenson about it, and I haven't heard back from him. I get emails from, I don't think it's Branch Out Burlington, it's someone else, but there was like a list we could get on if we, like for some bare root trees in the spring for free, if we thought we wanted them anywhere, like future shade trees, but you know, I can't think of anywhere, and I emailed Chris and haven't heard back from him, and maybe the slots are already taken because it was like only 7 towns could,
Oh, do it.
you know, but if anyone has an idea, I just figured I'd throw it out there, so, or think about it and
Well, thanks for
email
keeping
me
that,
or whatever.
No, not off the top of my head. Any other new business or old business that we have in front of us? All right. So the executive session, as I said, unfortunately, nothing new to go over there. I was hoping that we might have something, and Ron does not. So we won't go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and sign our stuff and call it a night.
Got just one warrant, I might have an AP later in the week if somebody could stop by. Today ran out of time. And then there's 2 contracts for Patrick Ross for 2 different culverts. One on the Mountain Road and then one on Warbrook. Yeah, that's
Well, you know what I meant to ask after our last meeting, could you process checks for
Yes.
everybody?
They kind of slipped our payroll today, and I said to Sherilyn, we forgot to do that. She goes, "Shh." Yeah, that's on our list.
All right.
Are you going into executive session?
Pardon me?
Are you going into executive?
No, we are just going to sign off, and we're going to get out of here in just a few minutes.
And then there's
What's that?
Stefan's request for his pay for a separate warrant.
Oh.
Borrow your pen, Kelly. Do I need to sign this too, or just you?
There's 2 spots, sign one, just,
Oh, there's a second spot. Whoops.
we're all officers, as far as we're or not, actually. All right. Well, that was short, folks. There's the only Sasha. Those. Oh, and this was the fire warning and that. Who's that? And then Mike's got the last one. All right, I'd move to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Thanks.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Rob. Everyone have a good Thanksgiving.
All right, awesome. See you guys next time.
Yep, see ya.